Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, a special episode. Got my man Bob Hunt with me, better known as Hunting for Entertainment. What's going on, man? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm glad to be here, and today was a great day. I was looking forward to this all day. I think I even annoyed some of my coworkers talking about it.
Nice, nice. Well, man, first of all, and we'll see who we have in the live chat before we get going with the regular intro. But first of all, I really want to take, and we didn't even talk about this behind stage, so I hope you don't mind me saying it, but I really want to take the time to thank you so much for your support, obviously in this community, but specifically to the Night Watch Zone. For you guys watching, Bob has been a supporter for quite a while, and he is at our James Bond level. And it's just amazing the generosity that you have, and I know you support so many others in the community too. And I just wanted to take the time to really thank you for that, man, and just to let you know that it really does make a difference in a lot of ways. It really does. So on behalf of myself, Coriander, and Killian, and the rest of the community, I want to say thank you so much. Seriously, Bob, it really means a
Hey,
lot.
hey, it's an honor. I'm glad to support anybody in the community when they have that because I know it helps with the content. It makes it better, and that way, because super chats and that you only get like 70%. So the more you get, it always helps.
Well, that is true, man. But like I said, I and Coriander's not here tonight, but she will be in the live chat. But when I saw you when you did your upgrade, I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, Bob, come on, man." It's just so generous, though. And like I said, it's really a big help. But it's a big thank you to everyone in this community, and obviously tonight the spotlight is on you, brother. So, so it's gonna be fun, man. Because I love having conversations with you too. I've been fortunate enough to do it a couple times on Steven's channel, Craving Something Scary, and this is a long time coming to have you here. So I'm really excited. We're gonna be talking about
Yeah.
just movie news in general. We're gonna be talking about Scream and theories and rumors, and obviously Halloween ends. The trailer's gonna be dropping tomorrow, so it's a lot of exciting stuff. Our hopes, fears, and dreams. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Let me see
Yeah.
who we have in the chat, and then we'll get going proper on this thing. Um, we got Extron. Extron saying, "Hey, Night, what's going on, Extron? Nice to see you." And look at that, saying, "Everyone, make sure to leave a like and a comment on the video when the stream is over." See, he see, it's spreading, man. Everyone's starting
Yep.
to really preach it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. My man, the horror miser Monty G himself, in the chat saying, "Does anyone know the trailer for Jeepers Creepers Reborn dropped late this afternoon?" Yes, I haven't seen it yet
Yeah.
though. I haven't
Same.
seen it
I'm
yet.
looking forward to seeing it though.
Yeah, yeah, me too, man. Me too. And there's Jason. Let's watch Night Wine Zone tonight. Down, down, up, down. Share this video, all right? I can't even read the rest of it. Jason, that's awesome, man. The boogie sound, down, up, down. That's great, man. Oh my god, thank you so much. Russell's in the chat. He knows what's up. He smashes the like button when he gets in here. It's so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Um, Wayne's in the chat. All right. The Halloween Ghoul saying, "Hey, welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome.
Eh?
Thank you for joining us." Um, and Wayne is saying, "Night, Bob. Hi."
Cheers, Wayne.
Monty G saying, "Sup, Bob." All right, all right.
All right.
Very cool. I like scaries in the chat. What's up? What's up? Saying night and hunting. What's up? All right.
Hey, man.
Very, very cool. And this is exactly what I'm saying. I like scary saying, yes, I
Yeah.
agree. Hunting is awesome. He is, man. He really is. Bob's all right. He's all right.
I try
Mikey's
to
in the
be.
chat. Well, that's the thing, man. I don't, you don't even have to try. You just like some folks, they just have that about them, and it's really cool. I mean, that's what makes this community so supportive and so awesome to be able to just have conversations, hang out. Last night, I jumped on, at the end of Craven's stream, with you guys, and I was excited. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I get to talk to my buddies. It's just cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah, it was.
It was. It
Even
was.
with
What's
the
up,
little
Mikey?
snafu with StreamYard and muting.
That's right. uh, Coriander's in the chat. Where are the ladies? I don't know. Saying hello. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Jason, again, coming strong with some big support, saying please do yourself a favor, check out past Nightwatch Zone videos. Make sure on these videos hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment. They are so much fun. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate that. He's been going through our Friday the 13th franchise and older videos, and it's just awesome. Thanks so much, man. Much appreciated. Donna's in the chat. What's up? What's up? Saying, hey, Knight and Bob. All
Hey,
right.
mother.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. And wow. Jason with a $10 super chat, man. He's quick, man. He's much faster than me. Saying, I only want two things from Halloween Ends. Number one, the Iron Lady saves the day and puts an end to Myers. Number two, Michael dances like Ed Harris at some point. Haddonfield football rules. What the heck? Oh my god.
Hey, I know everybody wants Iron Lady, but I want the hockey stick guy.
Right? Yeah, man. He was funny. Oh my gosh. All right, Jason, I'm gonna play this one for you because you're all right, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. It really, really is appreciated, brother. Here we go.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man. Don't let go.
All right. Thanks so much, Jason. I appreciate it. Seriously. And hey, there he is. We were talking about him. He heard us. My man Steven from Craven Something Scary. What's going on? All
Hey,
right.
Craven.
All right. Very, very cool. We had some fun last night. I was so lucky to jump on with you guys, and it's fun, man. It's fun stuff. All right. So, and Russell saying, "What's up, Bob and Nightwatch? What's up? What's up, Russell?" All
What's
right.
up, man?
So we're going to take a quick second to finish getting set up and give folks, a few more seconds to jump into the live chat if they choose to do so. So, Bob, I know you're a Halloween fan and I'm a Halloween fan. So I almost have a sneaky suspicion this intro deals with a lot of Halloween. What do you think? It might.
Yeah, it
It
might.
might.
It just
It
might.
might. It might. All right, guys. So for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax. You know what time it is.
All right.
Let's get going. So, Jason, the intro is always fire night. Thank you so much for putting this together. Hey, man, I love doing this type of stuff. Seriously, man. Seriously. Um, but Bob, let's start with just some overall thoughts. Do you want to start with some Scream stuff or Halloween stuff? Because it's interesting how both franchises have a lot going on that's all exciting and frustrating in a way.
Yeah, I think we'll start with Scream because why not end with Halloween this time since the trailer dropped? So we'll end on that note for
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. All right. So with Scream, there's been, ups and downs. Okay. I mean, and we haven't had a
Yes.
chance to talk about any of this. So it's the first time we've talked about this together. But what are your thoughts about Scream in general, as far as Scream 6 and any of the news that has either got you nervous or excited? I mean, what's your take on what's going on so far with what we've heard?
So far, I'm still very excited for it, even if with all the whole Nev news. Because
Mm-hmm.
for me, I was going into this anyway, not really expecting Nev to be a huge part of this. I kind of thought we'd just get a small cameo at the end, or
Right.
even somewhere in the middle, even if Sam were to call for some advice in that. So for me,
Mm.
with that news, it's not as big. It's sad under the circumstances of what happened.
Yeah.
Now, I also, and I always bring this up with this, being a wrestling fan, just this gives me certain vibes that it might be a work too, because something tells me why not throw the cards out there saying you're not in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then it surprises fans because everybody's more on the fence of not going, and those that don't really care for Nev will go, and then they could tell their friends, and those friends might be a fan of that, and they'll be, oh, okay. And then that
Hmm.
could even break what Scream 5 did in the box office.
That's right. That's right. No, I agree.
And
I,
the other
you know,
thing that has me nervous, though, is how many people have been casted. I mean, are we going to
mm,
get a lot of cannon fodder in the beginning? Like, because uh, sadly, I just see how are you going to build all these characters up, even the ones you're trying to build that are your own creations. If you keep
hmm.
introducing like 13 or more people, I mean, you're kind of
Right.
burying yourself in a hole.
Right. I
But
agree.
I trust Radio Silence enough that they know what they're doing. They haven't disappointed me yet, so I'm gonna hold out the cards there. But this has to be a good film, and they have to put their twist on it and make it work.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of that. I do think that the runtime is going to give me a sense on if they're going to be able to balance out all these cast members. Man, they got so many people in this damn movie, and I've talked about this on live streams. I've talked about it on the collective and so forth. But you've got your four returning people coming back, where Steven says the core
Mm.
four, right?
Yeah,
You've got Courtney Cox. Okay, so that's fine. You're bringing back Kirby, so that's a big thing. You got Dermot Mulroney, and now you've got Samara Weaving, which is like, and the thing of it is are we going to have enough time to build up these characters? In the movie, because I think one thing for Scream 5 for me personally is I really wish that it was about at least about 15 minutes or so longer, because I just feel like it would have given me time to kind of settle with, especially with these newer characters, a little bit more. And I think that's the one thing about five, or one of the biggest things about five, that was a little frustrating for me, is that I just felt like we didn't have enough time to really sit with the characters, like
yeah,
Wes, for instance. Wes was a character. I mean, obviously, to honor Wes Craven, that's great. And his kill was fantastic. That scene was fantastic. But it didn't hold as much weight for me because I didn't get to really know him that much as a character. I mean, he's Judy's son, so that's cool because, I really like Judy. But other than that, I didn't really get to know him that much. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And I get they wanted that final scene at the party for West to specifically for Craven. It's like you
Right.
could have given us a little more of this character because I thought with how well he was kind of trained in protection, I'm like, I don't think he'd be that stupid if he's hearing noises not to first go like try to go get the taser or the knife or something out of the kitchen if while you were in there.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think that you suspend disbelief a little bit in that scene, but seriously, I was like, well, what are you doing, man? You you're Judy's son, man. You should be smarter than that. But it is what it is. I mean, obviously people got to die. And the death scene was great. I mean, it was
Yeah,
really tense, and I think that was one of the better death scenes in 5. But again, he didn't have much weight before that. I mean, I felt bad because it was Judy's son, but then that tells you all you need to know. I felt bad
yeah,
more because of Judy rather than himself. So I'm just hoping with 6 that either the script works to the favor of the characters more than 5 did, or we got to have a longer runtime, just to have more of these types of moments to get to know these characters. Because I'm really curious to see how they're going to work in Samara Weaving into this movie, because you've got Kirby coming back, you got Hayden Panettiere coming back. So
yep,
I'm really, I mean, I'm not nervous per se, but it's definitely starting to kind of, you know, weigh on me a little bit, as far as I just want this movie to be good, and I think
yeah,
it will be good, but I want it to be better than 5. I really do. And not that 5 was bad, but I just had some issues with some of the things in 5. But again, Radio Silence, they're very talented, and I think that this movie will deliver. It's just a question if it's going to be different enough from what we've seen before in the Scream franchise. Like I'm hoping that they really, they talk about we're going to risk it all. I hope they really do some different things because they're going to be in New York, man. It's like, come on, you got to
Yep.
fulfill the destiny here. We couldn't have it happen with Jason because of budget issues. It's like you guys got the budget. I want to see Ghostface in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and not
So
just that, we're finally getting it set. It looks like it'll be set around Halloween time.
right,
So there could
yes.
be even more meta stuff in there, and hopefully we see a ghost face kind of just randomly running through the streets, freely killing people. No one's really taking notice.
Right, right. You would think. I mean, those are things that to me just kind of make sense that should just be a part of it. I mean, I know they don't want to do everything that's obvious, but if you're going to be in New York, there's certain things that you would think that they would take advantage of because of the setting. You got to have, if you're around Halloween time, you got to have fake ghost faces around. You're in
Yeah,
New York, you got to have something going on, in a subway station or something like that, or a bus station or something like that, like
and
that would
have
be
the
so
kill.
cool.
Yeah, and have the kill shown on like Times Square, like on that giant screen.
Yes, yes, I agree. That would be awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, I think that, the franchise, I love the franchise and it's a very consistent franchise, but I think it's time for them to really step outside of the box and do something like that. If there was a kill that was on the big, whatever they call it, it's not a Titantron, but the big screen or whatever, that
Yeah,
would be really cool, man. Like that would be something so different and so grand, and I think that it would be cool to see that in a Scream film because we've never seen it, you know?
yeah.
So hopefully, fingers are crossed, man. Fingers are crossed. Real quick too in the chat, I like Scary saying, "I love your intro, man. I don't know if I ever told you that it's my jam." Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Monty G saying, "Awesome intro night." Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Popeye's in the chat. What's up? What's up? Dominic's in the chat. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I just want to make sure I catch up to everyone. You guys are, yeah, Craven saying hey to Brandon. Popeye saying love this channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really, really do. And welcome, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. Monty G saying no Sydney and Scream 6. Nuff said. Oh man, I know, man. It's still does it still bother you? I mean, if we assume she's not, I know that you kind of mentioned it maybe as a work, and part of me is wondering about that too. But if we were to assume that she's not going to be in the movie, how does that hit you as a Scream fan?
It doesn't hit me as hard because I enjoyed the TV series just as much as I love the film. So, as the
Mm-hmm.
TV series didn't have Sydney or even Nev in it at all, or
Right.
any of the OGs, to me, it doesn't bother me as much. I know there are people out there that hate the TV series and they'll be hit harder than like what I will. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if we keep getting Sydney coming back, even in cameo roles or this and that, sooner or later they're going to just keep relying on her to come back. But
Mm-hmm.
then it's like you're kind of putting her in a situation where now this is more important than her family. So sooner or
Yeah.
later we would have to break away from Sydney being a part of it. I wish
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't the circumstances if she's not this way over money and that.
Right.
But I mean, what could be you do? We're not the head honchos here. I mean,
That's
I'd be
true.
willing to pay anything to keep someone on.
Yeah. Well, and especially, again, Sidney Prescott, I mean, is just synonymous with the films. But it is what it is. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with it.
Yeah,
Um, Wayne giving us the positives and the negatives of it all. The drama with Nev, the movie title drama, too many cast members. But the positives: a new setting and returning five survives. Yeah, yeah. Now the
yeah.
title too. Did you see the illustration of how they're doing the title Scream 2, and it kind of looks like
Exclamation point with kind of
yes,
like putting this. To me, I
yes.
think it's done that way because now this is just my theory on that. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna because anybody that really follows it knows nowadays if you were to put a number in your movie, it's gonna tank.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it. There's a reason why Halloween stopped doing that. Friday the 13th stopped doing it. Nightmare on Elm.
Mm-hmm.
everybody stopped doing because they started to realize that kind of drops it. So for it
Mm-hmm.
to be done this way, you still kind of have that little 6 in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more like the title would be Scream, but you're yelling it like you're actually screaming.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I never
Or at
even
least
really
that's
thought
how
of
I
it like
take it.
that. Okay. All right. I never even really thought about that. Well, hey, you're all right. I didn't think of that. Uh, and we got Destin's in the chat. Destination Station himself. What's up? What's up? Nice to
Hey,
see you. Nice to
Destin.
see you. Movies and Beyond's in the chat. All right. Corey Anderson, I'm glad Sydney's not coming back. I was so disappointed with her character in 5. Yeah, she definitely was
Yeah.
sidelined in 5, no doubt about that. They could have done I think they could have done a little bit of a better job of giving her a bit more to do than just the big brunt in the final act. Well, the part that she had in the final act. Now, of course, a lot of us had the original thinking that each movie was going to kind of feature one of the OG 3, and obviously 5 was David's big emotional movie, and
Yeah.
the thought was going to be either Sydney or Gail for 6, and then the other one for 7. But maybe that wasn't the plan. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I still think it was. I think with 5, I know a lot of people are hurt over Dewey's death. I'm more disappointed with the execution. It should have been done in
Yeah.
Act 3 in the, well, I know technically in the film it's a basement, but where the garage was. That's where
Mm,
they should have had Tara tied up, and he should have been the one to go down to rescue her. And then
mm,
Ghostface could call him and kind of taunt him, saying, "Oh, I put her there where your sister was killed in that garage door. How's
mm-hmm.
that make you feel?" And then
Right.
that's when he gets to kill Dewey there, because I felt that would be more of an impactful way to save Tara when you couldn't save Tatum in that same spot
Yes.
where Tatum died.
Yes. Yes. That's a great point, man. Wow. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. I like that. Wow. All right. Very,
I
very
mean, I'd
cool.
rather Dewey not die, but that,
Yeah.
since we're going off that premise, and then 6 would be Gale, and with it being in New York, have an opening kill, bring back Scream 3 voice changer. He
Mm-hmm.
calls the news station and taunts her with Dewey's voice.
Mm. Yep. 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 I thought about that too. That would have been a great way to do it. And then of course 7 would have been, Sydney's movie, and just
And that's her final send off. Like, she gets her
yes.
goodbye, gets
Mm-hmm.
the happy ending, and do a prelogue. Like, okay, I'm one who doesn't want Sam to turn evil. Kind
Mm-hmm.
of have her take Tara and Sam under her wing, and we see a closing where they're all living happy under the sun. No, and
Mm. That would have been cool. I could have been on board with that. Seriously. That would have been awesome. But maybe I don't know, maybe they just weren't thinking. I don't know. And part of it is we may never really know, especially again if we assume that what's been said is true and all of this stuff happened and Nev's not going to be in 6. Now of course that doesn't mean that she can't come back in 7, but again it's just going to, it always is going to make me wonder what was the original idea, what were we supposed to get, what were they going to do before all this fallout with the money.
yeah, and I
I
feel
yeah.
bad for Radio Silence. I'm sure they had another script planned because I'm sure they kind of knew ahead of time. But
Yes.
with that third party that owns the rights to this, which I think is called Lantern Entertainment, they really short staffed on Radio Silence on this when they weren't a part of 5. It's like they saw the money. Oh, let's
Mhm.
interfere in this. And they kind of pulled the Weinsteins. They're kind of making the moves now.
Mhm. Yeah. Hey man, the money talks, I guess. The money talks, unfortunately. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Steven saying Samara Weaving will be an amazing opening kill. Oh, Steven, you're going there, huh? He said I
Hey,
hope she's
that's
not the
what
opening kill. Do you think she's
I
going
hope
to be?
she's. I don't think she's going to be, but if she is, I
Uh,
do agree. It will be an amazing opening kill. I think if
true.
anybody could, it would be her that would be able to do it so well after what we
Yeah.
saw with Jenna.
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely think she's a gifted enough actress to do it, and it could be really cool, great opening. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to see her in the rest of the movie too. But we'll see. You never know.
I mean,
You
I'd
never know.
rather her be more like maybe CC Cooper in a way, like where she's in at least
Yes.
up till halfway through, but gets a better
Yes.
kill than just being thrown off a balcony. I want to see something better than that with her.
Absolutely. I agree. No doubt about it. Movies and Beyond saying they're not taking a boat, are they? No, it's not going to be any of that Jason Takes Manhattan stuff, man.
Well, that would be very hard. They'd have to travel all around the world first.
Right. That's
That'll be a
true
very
too.
boring movie.
Right? It'd be more boring than Jason 8. No, I'm just joking. It wasn't totally boring, but I just, it was frustrating because obviously they didn't have the money to do things in New York like they had planned. Oh, and Jason's got another super chat. Thank you so much, man. $5 super chat saying, I know this is a Halloween stream, but please check out Friday the 13th ranking video. Oh my God, it is so good. It makes you so miss the franchise. Just a good time. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. Seriously. And to segue that into this, fans of Friday the 13th, and I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. This is the movie that got me going in my horror journey. So I'm just a huge fan of the franchise. Love talking about it. But man, we've been waiting over a decade for a new movie. It's crazy, you
Yeah, it
know?
really is.
It's crazy. And for the fans out there that love Scream and Halloween like we do, even with these frustrations, and we'll be talking about more frustrations and stuff and for Halloween as well. But in general, my thought process on it is I'm just happy that we have stuff to talk about with these franchises, that we're in the middle, in the midst of this renaissance. These slasher icons are making a comeback, and it's so cool, man. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
And even Chucky with the TV series getting season 2 in that in the works is something
That's right.
amazing. And I can't
That's
wait
right.
for that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Jason, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. You're all right. And let's play this for you, man.
Bring that fat ass over here. Oh, I wanna.
Oh man. All
Oh,
right. You're all right, Jason. Thank you so much, man. Seriously. Um Oh man. Jason Jason's also saying, did you hear the Halloween Ends trailer drops tomorrow? Can't wait to see what you have to say about it. Really curious on what Fate has to say. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Fate has to say about it too. I don't think they're do you, okay, and we might go back and forth between Halloween and Scream, but for the Halloween Ends trailer, what do you think they're going to show in it? If you were to take a bet, it's a minute and 16 seconds, I believe. What do you think they're going to show in that trailer?
personally, for me, I'm hoping they kind of do more of a recap, kind of just lump some things together, and maybe at the very end put in like a small clip of like Michael. Like you don't see who it is, but you can kind of guess it's Michael with him just standing and looking somewhere, kind of
Yeah.
off in the
Yeah.
distance. If you're going to do a cave dwelling thing, like maybe
Mhm.
he's like looking at the woods or something.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. I think it will be something similar to that. I mean, of course, the Con trailer um was kind of similar to that. It had like kind of a recap of things in the timeline, from 78, also from 2018 and Kills, and then they showed, a confrontation between Laurie and Michael. Now, there's been some people saying that this trailer tomorrow isn't just going to be a rehash of the Con trailer. So if it's not that, I just hope they don't show too much. That's the big thing for me. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see nothing from the third act or any big plot point. I don't want to see anyone, foreshadowed to die. Like they did with Scream 5 with Dewey. And
Yeah,
for the love of God, I said forever they're not gonna kill Dewey because they showed it. It looked like they showed it in the trailer. I could not believe they gave that away in the trailer. I mean, so hopefully, hopefully the Halloween Ends trailer won't do anything like that. I don't think they will, but one thing that I do mention is in the Kills trailer. I wish they hadn't shown the firefighter scene.
Yes, I agree. I don't want anything with an opening or the third act or any
Yes,
key points in Act Two. Put
I
in
agree.
some of that boring stuff that's still a little entertaining that you can speculate with.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do some narration, do some, wide shots of wherever Haddonfield or whatever, things like that, and just a little taste. That's all we need, man. Because I really think that this movie is going to have 78 type vibes. I think it's definitely not going to be as bombastic as Kills. I mean, because Kills was just, whoo. I mean, it was Michael's movie, it was the town of Haddonfield's movie, and Michael was just cooking throughout that whole film.
Yeah,
But it's not going to be like that, I don't think.
it's always like I said with Kills. Kills was more about getting the new generation of people in Haddonfield terrified because since everything else wasn't canon, only 78 existed, and him
Right.
killing his sister back in what was it, 65, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
we didn't have that many kills really with Michael. This was more about them now having the same fear that Lori went through because a lot of them kind of thought she was nuts. I mean, even her
Right.
own daughter was thinking she's mentally nuts over this. So to me, I view it as it was about getting the whole town now scared because they
Mm,
need to do something for canon wise.
yeah.
Because notice when 4 happened, they all knew who Michael was because it did continue from 2 because of the
Yeah.
whole burn thing. I know
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would have shown a recap of him surviving that like they originally wanted, but I guess the
Yeah.
budget really wasn't there for it. So
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in the chat, we got Katie's in the chat. What's going on, Katie? And Angie is saying, "Hey, Knight, how's it going? It's going really well. Nice to have you. Nice to have you.
yeah.
Welcome, welcome." Ian's in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? Let's see. And we got RMJ's in the chat saying it actually intrigues me some that the film will be in New York around Halloween time. I'm slightly excited. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's in New York, it's Halloween time. I mean, I'm hoping we have some great sets, for Scream 6, as far as, and I'm not saying trying to take things from Halloween, but when you watch, especially 78, Halloween 4, 2018, even H2O, you really got that sense of the time of year and, just the area, especially in the original. 2018 was good too. So I hope we have that type of feeling in Scream 6, that it really feels like it's that time of the year. You really, the setting is organic, and I think in 5, you had so many close, tight shots that it didn't feel like Woodsboro like we had seen in Scream 96, let's say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those, I think it's one of those, it's kind of like a creative decision, but I just think if you're going to be in New York, man, you should really just let it be shown and really get a sense of feeling it, you know what I mean? But we'll see. We will see. Um, Oh, Monty's coming in with a hot take saying, I thought Jenna Ortega did a better job than Melissa Barrera in Scream 5. I will not disagree with you. I,
I can't disagree in the sense of acting wise, but kind of going through my own kind of drama, I can kind of say for once Melissa Barrera was put in the right cast if you're going to have someone on medication going through drama just being melatonin through the whole thing. I
mm,
will admit, at least she did a good job in that. If they would have had her being a little more perky and showing emotion, because I was
yeah.
on some antidepressants and I was like a robot, I could care less.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give her that. That's the thing I'll
Yeah.
say about that character is that it worked in 5, but if you but you're gonna have to progress now because she's gonna have to overcome this, and Melissa
Yeah.
Barrera needs to step up if that's where they go.
She does, man. She does.
Because
Let's see.
I've even come out of my shell in that sense. I'm not even on the medication anymore, and I'm doing more things with my life and not worrying about my past.
Yeah. Well, here's a question about that. And by the way, saying hi to King. What's up? Saying that's some good ideas. Thank you so much. But do you think that in Scream 6, I would love to think that they're gonna have Sam, come out of her shell and be more, more prominent, more outgoing, have a brighter type of character. But do you think it will, um, that it will hit for us, being that now she's in a film where you've got Kirby coming back. Obviously, you still have Mindy, and you also have Samara Weaving. If Samara is not the opening kill, which it does look likely, but let's just say that she wasn't. And of course, you still have Courtney Cox, and you still have Jenna. Jenna, I think, is going to possibly be even better in this movie than she was in Scream 5. She's just a more experienced actress at this point. So do you think that Melissa's going to be able to rise to the occasion, if you know figuring that the script works for her as well?
If the script works good, I think with the cast around her, I think it might be able to lift her up. I'm sure a lot of them will probably help her out.
Mhm.
Something tells me they'll be with the cast. It could actually benefit her more than anyone else.
Oh, okay. All right.
But also, I think this is one where you should, and this is just my kind of theory, maybe have one of the like ghost face killers that we don't know is a killer, maybe talk to her and try to have her kill, like attack someone that they're saying is ghost face. They know it's a ghost face. They saw him around on like getting a costume and that. Obviously, since we're at Halloween, so that killer set her up, and the only one that
Mhm.
believes her is Tara. And reason I think that could be a possibility is when I think it was Marcus's thumbnail for I Shot Him 6 Times. He kind of had one where it was like Courtney Cox and Melissa Barrera kind of like looking like they were walking to a car, like kind of quick, and that something tells me
Mhm.
that might be a part of the story. And I think in 7 is
Ah.
when we get that breakout of Sam.
Okay. That would be cool. Yeah. I could definitely see that. That would be very, very cool. Absolutely. Absolutely. Time will tell. I will say this. I do hope for the best for her, as a character and as an actress, because I think that, like you were saying, the way her character was written in 5, that was a challenging situation to be in, because you have to be kind of in that monotone type of um, way that you're characterized. And of course, there's a reason for that. But until the end, when she kind of
Yeah.
let loose at the end, and I was thinking, wow, that's what she could be. I mean, obviously not throughout a whole movie, but you could see that, if her personality is able to be let loose, it could be a really interesting thing to see, and she could be a very good character in the Scream franchise. So
Yeah.
hope so. I hope so.
Let's
What's up,
just
Million?
let's
Millions
just
in the
hope
chat too.
the script is there for her to succeed.
I hope so too. I really, really do. Seriously. I mean, and I think that this is a crossroads, man, because um, obviously in 5 they had to kind of stick to the script that Wes had laid out, so they didn't really go too far out of the lane. But this is kind of like a crossroads, man, because if they kind of do the same type of thing, or what a lot of us are fearing is that if it's kind of like a carbon copy of Scream 2, um, I just don't know if it sets up the future of the franchise that well. I think they should go in their own direction. I mean, obviously, you got to follow certain rules, but give us
Yep.
some fresh stuff. And I think if they could do that, it would really set up the future of the franchise and put it in a better situation. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because, obviously you can see so many parallels between this and Scream 2. It's almost like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no. And not that I hated Scream 2, because I thought Scream 2 was a really good movie, but I'm just hoping that, I don't know, man. I'm just hoping that they do some different things for Scream 6. I really am.
So
More
do
than
I.
anything else.
You got to be different. I mean, the TV series to me really broke out of the shell of its typical self. I know they had a hard time getting the mask rights, so that, but
Mhm.
which put the writers in a tough spot. But if you're allowed to go and do what you can do for telling a story, you can do really well.
Yeah.
E-
Yeah.
Even if it tears the fan base apart, those that are loyal to it and can find enjoyment will stick by your side as long as you tried. If you just do carbon copy stuff, sooner or later
Mhm.
that fan base will turn on you. because it's
Right.
rinse and repeat.
Yes, yes. And I mean, this will be the sixth movie. So, it's time to, just do some different things, do some new things. Let's have a whole bunch of Ghostface killers. I mean, I'm hoping we have at least three. I think that would be really cool. Something that we haven't seen, and maybe, and we've talked about this a lot, but maybe, one of the Ghostface killers isn't working with the other two, and so in other words, you really start getting this whole idea, this mystery thing going on. It's like, because it's no fun when you're watching a who done it like the Scream movies are, and you're already kind of zeroing in on who you think is Ghostface. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be
Yeah.
cool to have something that makes you say, "Oh my God, are you serious?" I would love to have that feeling when I see it. But
Oh, same here.
um, and here's another thing too, and of course this just I think this just came out the other day. Extra, I was saying Dermot Mulroney had said that he has a daughter that connects him and her to the story. And did you hear about that? Because he's playing a cop,
I did, but I
and
didn't see that he said it. I saw somebody posted
mm,
something. It was either on Instagram or Twitter, and they
hmm
had like a cast list of like what the newer people were playing, and he was one that was playing like all it said was like a father character, and then like
yeah,
the one under him was like a police officer or sheriff or something. So I
hmm
kind of know a little bit only because of that, which kind of annoyed me. I didn't want to know what any of these guys were playing. I wanted to go in blind,
yeah,
but sometimes it's
yeah.
hard to avoid spoilers sometimes.
It is. And one thing I don't understand, I mean, I guess, well, I don't know, but even when they're talking about the cast and saying, what they're doing and this and that, it's like you're giving away some serious clues to these movies, because these movies, it's all about following breadcrumbs. So as soon as you hear that, he's playing that type of character or a cop, it's almost like, okay, so that might mean this, it might mean that, and so forth and so forth. So it's like, come on, man. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. Catch you later, Monty. Saying gotta go, everyone. Working on a new project that I'll be starting next month on my channel. Oh, all right.
Oh,
Very cool.
can't wait to see what that is.
All right. All right. Um, Steven saying, looks like we are getting the CinemaCon trailer tomorrow. Leaks out already, and it matches the description of CinemaCon. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, there we are.
well, that
Yeah.
was just a lucky guess I said then.
Right? Oh, that's too funny. Katie saying, night you played that video, my coworker looked. What the heck was that? That's funny. What's up, Maverick? Maverick's in the chat. All
Hey,
right.
Maverick, glad you stopped by, buddy.
Yeah. He's saying, Bob, I've been putting work into that project we were just talking about, brother. All right.
Well, I can't wait to see what it's like when it's done. I'm very
Very
excited
cool.
for it.
Very, very cool. Jason coming in with another super chat, $5 super chat, saying, I want to see the Halloween Ends trailer to just play the Halloween 3 Happy Happy Halloween song with the pumpkin video for the whole trailer. Oh my God. Could you imagine if that's what the trailer showed? Like, wow, man. Do you know? Let me just say this. That's awesome, Jason, first of all. And I'm going to get a little geeky here, man. But first of all, Bob, are you a fan of Season of the Witch, or do you not like it?
Okay, I love it. That's my
Okay.
third ranked in the franchise as a whole. I view it as a standalone. So if we're doing standalone in that sense, it would
Yeah.
top all the other Halloweens. Maybe not 78, but it was
Yeah.
original. You could tell it's what Carpenter wanted. And what was
Mm-hmm.
funny with who directed that ended up directing the one movie mini series that gave me the fear of clowns and it.
It.
So
That's right.
so
Absolutely.
it had a good director, and that score was just something else. I always annoyed my
Yes.
mother's. Like when we would get to a certain point when I knew how many days, I would annoy the heck out of my mother by singing how many days to that tune.
Nice. I love it too. Although when I was a kid, I was not a fan of it at all, because I just didn't understand the fact that Michael wasn't in it, and I just didn't get it as a kid, and I didn't watch it for years until I was like in my late teens or early 20s, and I just said, well, let me just watch it, and I loved it, and of course I also came to understand what they were trying to do. Um, but regardless of that, there have been some people that have theorized that maybe there might be, a nod or a wink or maybe some connection that Silver Shamrock will have in Halloween Ends. One thing's for sure, David Gordon Green is a fan of Season of the Witch, and he has shown nods and winks in 2018 and in Kills, especially in
Yep.
Kills, man. I mean, those masks, they were right there on the back of the mask. It had the Silver Shamrock
Yep.
emblem,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like it's real. But getting back to what Jason was saying, could you imagine if the trailer comes out, we're all like ready to check this thing out, we turn it on, and maybe it's some type of wide shot of Haddonfield and maybe a quick voiceover, and then all of a sudden it just goes dun, 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 happy happy. Could you
Happy
imagine?
Halloween.
And then it fades off.
Yep.
Coming October. Could you imagine? Like the internet would break, because all of us would be starting to theorize and like, oh, it's really gonna happen. Oh my god, that would be so funny
Yeah,
though.
my only thing is because we know he killed at that young age and it was a different mask. I would ask if you would do one small like flashback to when he was a kid and show
Hmm.
somewhere on that clown mask that had Silver Shamrock, and I could buy into why he would go for a mask that was Silver Shamrock after that. That
Yes.
that would
Yep.
be my only thing I would ask if you go the Silver Shamrock route, because it would leave me to question why did he kill as a kid then? If it was
Yes.
just
Exactly.
because the one mask we see he got later on.
Hmm. Yep.
So that would just
Absolutely.
be my only thing I'd want to see them do. So it would make sense.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. But Jason, thanks so much for the super chat, man. That definitely made me think of some really cool stuff as far as the possibilities, man. But
Yeah.
anyways, hey, you rock, man. Here's some Dennis Edwards for you, Jason, because I know you like Dennis Edwards.
Heck yeah.
but but yeah, like I said, I don't think they're gonna do much more than maybe another wink and nod to Season of the Witch. I don't think they're gonna do. I don't think Silver Shamrock is gonna be behind this whole thing, because it just, like you said, it doesn't really make sense unless they show that little clown mask that he first put on when he killed Judith, if it had a Silver Shamrock, emblem on it. But
Yeah.
it's too much of a stretch to me, because he's killed without a mask. They showed him in 2018 in the bathroom before he got his mask back.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Also,
know.
real quick with Season of the Witch and that, I was lucky enough to be at a younger age that my mother sat down and explained that Michael wasn't it. So, in a way, I kind of got a little treatment before getting to see it to understand that it was different than what I had seen with 4 and 5 as the first two I saw. So, okay, I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, man, and that's the thing that keeps my mind open almost with any movie, because for me, it was years before I gave Season of the Witch a chance again. And like I said, I went from one end of the spectrum to the other, and now it's one of my favorites. So
Yeah.
anything's possible. Anything is possible. What's up, Shape? Shape's in the chat. The Shape in the shadows himself. He's a huge Halloween fan. Huge Halloween fan. Good to have you, man.
Yeah.
Conrad's in the chat. All
Hey,
right.
Scream Red.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I just want to catch up to some of these guys in the chat a little bit more. Do, do,
Oh
do,
my
do,
God,
do.
my mother's comment just had me laughing.
What did she say?
When I was talking about how I annoyed her with the things, she's like, "That's why I moved to PA."
Nice. Oh gosh. Jason, with another question saying, when are we talking about Terrifier 2? Right? I mean, because Terrifier 2 is going to be coming
Yeah.
out in October as well, and there's not a lot of talk about it. Although I will say this, Jason, and I know especially Jason will appreciate it. We are planning to finally do an episode on Terrifier, which I've been kind of waiting to do, to kind of segue into hopefully a lot of news and hype for Terrifier 2 coming out. But I'm excited about Terrifier 2. Are you?
Oh, I am as well. I try to avoid talking about it too much because I know Marcus hasn't seen it, and we're kind of setting up a watch party. Like I told him,
Mhm.
first watch All Hallows Eve because that's kind of where we first saw a little bit of Art the Clown. I think there
Mhm.
was another small video too before Terrifier came out because I could have sworn when I was watching like a history of Art the Clown there was something even I hadn't seen. So when I ended up looking it up, I can't remember the name of it now. But
Mm.
I'll tell you, I enjoy Terrifier. It was one of those that I thought I would hate,
Yeah.
but I ended up loving.
Yeah, I mean, it's it is such a, and I don't wanna get too deep into it, but it is a really good movie, and supposedly in the sequel, the kills and the gore and the blood and everything is gonna be even more amped up, and I'm like, "Wow." I mean, I just can't,
Yeah,
that's just crazy to even think, seriously.
yeah.
Very, very cool.
But I ain't gonna lie,
Uh,
that opening and closing when how it kind of connected the story, I was
mm,
shocked at the end. Like I was completely like befuddled. I'm oh my god, this really
mhm.
came full circle. I like that.
Yeah, no, it was very well done. Everything about it. He
Yeah,
was creepy, the practical effects, the way the story unfolded, the tension, the acting, everything. I just thought it was top notch. It really, really was. Really was. What's up, Charlie? Charlie's in the chat saying Melissa gave a great performance in the Heights. Yes,
yes.
yes. And I think, like I said, I think she's gonna show some good stuff in Scream 6. I really do. What's
So
up,
do I.
Brandon?
And I think sooner or later she will get that breakout moment. I know she's more of a natural singer. I think at one point she's going to break out and get that acting right. It takes
Mm.
time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen that with a lot of actors and actresses that, they just go through a growth period. They have to evolve, So
Yeah.
I think she'll be all right. I really do. What's up, Jamie? Jamie's in the chat. All right.
All right.
And we've got another question here. Charlie's asking, what do you both hope to see with Chad and Mindy? Ooh, that's a good question. I'll let you handle that first, Bob.
Okay, well, seeing as my theory now wouldn't make any sense now that we know that Heather Mezzaro's not coming back. I would have wanted to have seen Mindy be the killer, and we get to see like she ends up like she gets involved after Chad's attacked again, and we get like a big final scene where everybody's beating up the final ghost face, and it would have just been a kill while the ghost face had a mask on, and like she just ripped off the mask and saw her own daughter tried to kill her brother and that and see all that trauma from how she lost Randy to now she almost lost her own son and the fact that her
Mm,
own like daughter would have turned on her own brother would have just been like wow like
mm.
it's like wow.
That would have been
But for me,
interesting.
I still think Mindy is going to die in 6, unfortunately, because I see them setting Chad up more as the modern day Dewey for this generation with his stupidity in a
Hmm.
way. And remember, he was supposed to die originally, just like David Arquette was in Scream, but yet fans loved him and they brought him back. They reshot
Hmm.
that. So I think he'll get that treatment or
Yeah, he might.
at least until 7. We'll see how it plays out in 6. Maybe he
Hmm.
will die
Hmm.
in 7. But at this point, I
Maybe.
don't see Chad dying. I think it's going to end up being Mindy that
Hmm.
does die.
Do you think it'll be near the end of the film? Middle to end of the film?
I'd want it to be toward the end. I'd want it more in the third
Mm,
act. Maybe she gets it while trying to save everyone or something. Because I
hmm.
just can't see her being the killer now with certain things not coming out in my head. Now you can still
Right.
make a claim she could be because she
Hmm.
does come across as cold and everything, kind of the
Right.
opposite of what Randy was. And for me, if you're bringing in Kirby to be back, I want her
Hmm.
to see through that bullcrap and say, "Why the hell are you doing this? You know, you're acting cold and that they're your friends or your family. Why are you being such a bleep?" you know,
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
And
Yeah,
I
that would
know
be
everybody
interesting.
wants Kirby and her to go back and forth about films. I think Kirby would kind of give that up, kind of because even Randy was like kind of annoyed that he was such a whore nerd when we got to the sequel. It's like he knew all, but he kind of felt bad knowing about all this because
Hmm.
Hey, even he knew. Well, my time could be now to die,
That's right. That's
and
right.
nobody really wants to know when it's your time to die.
Yeah. He was such a good character, though, man. I
He
really
was.
Jamie Kennedy was so good in that role. So good.
It
That
was
was a good question, though, Charlie.
yeah, for me, my two favorite kind of that nerdy characters, and I know everyone hates TV. I always throw Randy and Noah together because Noah was more that TV series kind of nerd where he could tell you everything, and
Hmm.
Randy was that movie nerd. So it's like they were like the same but opposite to a degree.
Right, 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 right. Yep, I agree. Absolutely. Let's see. I want to make sure I catch up on a few more uh, comments in here. Let's see. Um, let's see. Maverick saying, "You and me both night." I think we talked about it on my first appearance on Lethal Collective. I was so pissed. I waited the entire film for the shape to appear, and he never came. Laugh out loud. Boy, was I wrong. Mav, you're all right, man. And I hope you're feeling better too, man. Seriously. And I know a couple people in the live chat
Yeah,
are sending well wishes to you as well, man. Seriously. Jamie saying, I love Season of the Witch. I knew Michael wasn't going to be in it, so I wasn't surprised. I saw it three times that year.
wow.
Wow. That's woohoo. That's all right, man. Russell's a fan of Season of the Witch as well. Yeah, it is a good one. It really is. Um, Jacob saying, I think the point of Michael is that there really isn't a reason why he kills. Absolutely. I think that's what makes him such a wild card. I think that's what makes his mythology so interesting, at least to me. What do you think
Yeah.
about that, Bob? Because
Uh,
like every other icon, especially the legacy icons, we know their backstory, we know why they're motivated to do what they do. But with Michael, we don't. He's just evil.
Yeah, and the whole concept really of Halloween in general was evil never dies. Like even if
Hmm.
you do end up one day killing Michael, which I know they kind of don't want, but I kind of want them to maybe one day go that four route, maybe where because he is technically the boogeyman, the shape you could change into someone. Like maybe it's Michael's just the vessel,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
maybe we find out the entity is Michael.
Hmm.
Like even if
Yeah. That.
that's the
Ooh.
thing's name, and you could now me just being a fan of four, maybe set something up if you do a sequel or something, kind of play off of what four did, but bring back Harris because I'd actually like to see her one day actually play a killer in that, and it would actually shake things up a little bit when you
Mm.
think about it.
Yeah. You mean like if they did, and thanks a lot for that comment, Jacob. You mean like if
Yeah,
they did a sequel to four, they bring back Danielle, and maybe like at the end of four, obviously, she attacked her mom and so on and so forth, and then maybe she was apprehended
yep,
and she was institutionalized just like Michael was.
yep,
And obviously the story will take place, whatever it is, 15 years, 15, 20 years later. Well, yeah, it has to be at least 20 something years later, whatever. So we have
yeah,
Danielle Harris at her current age, and then we play it out with her,
yeah.
breaking out or whatever. That could be really interesting. That
Because the
could.
whole concept is he's a shape. We don't know
Yeah.
really. I'm granted now in the movies we know when he's unmasked it is a guy, but he's the
Right.
shape, the boogeyman. Anybody can be pure evil. Doesn't matter who you are. Evil
Hmm.
will never die. Your vessel
Right.
can die, but that doesn't mean it won't transfer to someone else. And I know that
Hmm.
sounds a
Right.
little culty like in that, but when you think
Hmm.
about that, there's religions out there that believe in stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
That you'll
absolutely.
come back as something else.
Absolutely. Well, I think that was one of the cool things also about Season of the Witch is because, that scene where you had Dr. Chalice when he was captured by Cochrane, and Cochrane was just telling him about how it was, with his craft, and of course, Tom Atkins, you gotta love him. He's like witchcraft, and so forth and so forth. But he was talking about the old legends of old, the old folk legends. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've always really not only enjoyed that type of stuff, but it is creepy because it's real A
Yeah.
lot of that stuff is real. Really, people. This is what they believed, and so forth and so forth. Even in Halloween 2, and I know some people have the issue with, the sibling angle. I never really had a big problem with the sibling angle, but when Loomis goes to the school, and Michael wrote Samhain or Samhain, however you want to pronounce it,
Well,
and he
I
talked
always say
about the
Stalin.
Druids. Yeah, me too. Um, and Loomis talked about the Druids and this and that, and it's fascinating stuff, man. And I have no issue with some of that kind of being in the DNA of the story, as long as they don't go too far away from it, like they did in Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah,
I think
don't go that route, because then
yes, they
eh,
went too far with it in that movie, in my opinion. It didn't really make sense, because it's like, well, you've got Michael Myers is basically a lackey, you've got these runes and they control him. It's like, I don't know if I dig that, because now he's less scary, a
yeah.
lot less
Although
scary.
I will admit, I don't know how true this is because I haven't found a copy of the book. I heard it was either
Hmm.
in the novelization of Halloween or Halloween 2. They actually, I
Hmm.
think it might have been Halloween. They were going in when he was a kid, and it did have something to do with that. So I know they kind of the writer took some of that from that book, but it's
Yeah.
like some of the stuff you were implying also in there really did not make any sense for Michael. You tried way too hard to explain Michael as an
Right.
entity,
Hmm.
and
That's right.
let's not even get started with the whole Jamie and Michael being the father. And
Oh no, man, I could not believe they did that, man. I was like, what? It's just it, just even thinking about it,
it,
it's like, what the hell's going on?
and it didn't help that Five really put them in a pickle too by introducing that Colt of Thorn on the arm. I mean, you would have been
Yes.
better off not with that, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. I agree. Catch you later, Steven. I don't know if you already left, but take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Take care,
Yeah,
Craven.
they definitely painted themselves into a corner, because you could have still had the man in black and not even had the symbol, or
Yeah,
maybe just never really, I don't know, just never go down that road, man, because I think that it really it really just painted a bad picture for 6. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some good things in 6, and you still had, obviously, Donald Pleasance, his last performance, um which, I'm just glad I was able to see him. When I was a kid, I saw the movie, but anyways, but it was just some weird stuff, like you said. The whole thing with Michael and Jamie was crazy. It's like, ah, God, man, I
yeah.
wasn't digging it, man. Not digging
And
it at all.
and I know everyone in Kills is for ends is saying that Michael might have a brother. I think that ship has sailed. It would you could have explained it in 6 if they didn't have that whole thorn on his arm or
Yeah,
wrist. You could have maybe done something there. I think that ship is well gone. Don't have any relatives of Michael being involved in all this now. It's a little too late. And it kind of feels like you're kind of
I agree.
backtracking a little bit too, with saying that
Mm-hmm.
the other sequels aren't canon, but it's like, well, now you're going to possibly introduce a character like that. And
Mm-hmm.
are you sure you
I
guys
agree.
know what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things you just, at the end of the day, and actually, before I finish that, Maverick saying, I'm doing all right. I'm glad you're doing all right, man. Seriously. Saying, I'll be better if the doc tells me I don't need surgery on my leg again. Just thankful for Night keeping me sane while I'm laid up on the couch. Oh, man. Well, I hope that you get the good news. Seriously, man.
Yeah.
We're all thinking about you, man. But at the end of the day, Halloween to me is at its best when it's more simple rather than complicated, And at this point, introducing another relative and this, because we already did away with the sibling angle, so that we could focus on Michael and focus on the fact that he's a force of nature. He's evil,
Yeah.
and I think that's when he's at his scariest as a character, and I think that's when the movies are at its best,
Yep.
because there's that simplicity. um, Jason coming in with another super chat. Wow, Jason, man, jeez, thank you so much, man. Seriously, saying, I think Halloween Ends will be a movie we are not ready for now, but will appreciate as time goes on. We'll be disappointed at first, but we'll grow to love. Ooh, what do you think of that, Bob?
It could be. It depends how it plays out. If those rumors were true that Michael were to die in the first 15 minutes, oh yeah, that definitely would make it to where it would take a lot of time to grow for fans to love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna go that route. I think that was all just rumor, speculation, some guy just wanting to get clout. So for me, I think it's going to be a fantastic movie. Even if the ending, as Jamie Lee Curtis says, does piss off people, I think it's still going to be
Mm-hmm.
something enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. I,
Because
I
I
I would
trust
like
in
to.
David Gordon Green because he has not disappointed with these two films so far.
Right.
And
That's
remember,
you said it.
everybody was saying that 2018 would be a bust because of
Mm-hmm.
having even Danny McBride coming in, who's a comedy writer.
Mm-hmm.
They said it would
Yep.
be bad with him. So I don't know if I can say it's going to be bad until we see it. It's one of those I
Yeah.
have to see it first.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's different things that have been said and different rumors and stuff, and there's been a lot of rumors debunked. We know that we're not going to get Hobo Myers. I talked about that in a video not too long ago, and
Yeah,
we know a couple different things. But I also have to echo what you said because I've enjoyed the first two movies. They're not perfect, especially kills. There's issues and
yeah,
flaws and so forth and so forth. But again, guys, this is a 45-year-old franchise, and to even talk about these two movies, which is number 11 and 12, and ends will be 13. And to even talk about them in a positive light and be excited about, possibilities with ends and still talking about Michael being relevant and stuff like that, that's pretty cool, man. You got to give them some credit. You
yeah.
really do. So that's why I'm still very hopeful for ends. And until I see it, until I'm in that theater and seeing it for myself, I'm not going to become a master of panic. I'm not going to give up hope yet, and I know some people are very frustrated, but I'm excited, man. But Jason, thank you so much for the super chat, man. We really appreciate you, and man, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm almost caught up with everyone. The Welsh King is in the chat. What's going on? Nice to have you. Saying hi, guys. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome
Um,
aboard.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jacob saying, boo, no watered down Studio Terrifier sequel. As far as I've heard, it's going to be really, really good. Everything's going to be amped up. So I can't wait to see it, man.
Hey, all I could say is if those trailers I saw for it, which I can't confirm are real or not, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely not watered down. It
Mm-hmm.
looks
Mm-hmm.
even more violent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, Art the Clown himself was saying that they were constantly trying to come up with new ways to have the kills work and how to make them more over the top and just working on the practical effects and putting all the time and effort into every kill scene and every confrontation. So it's definitely a passion project. So I'm excited. I really am.
All I say is I hope if it was real, I hope we do see him riding that tricycle that I saw in that little video thing. Because that looked funny because he was covered in blood and riding a tricycle.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Million saying, "Yep, Jacob. No point to his kills. The audience knows that, and we're entertained by watching the characters who don't know that try to figure them out." I'm talking about Art the Clown, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep. Maverick, how do you amp up song a female in half who's hung upside down? Right? I know, but that's what
Yeah.
they said. That's what they said. It's going to be more graphic and more violent. It's like, whew, that's crazy stuff, man. Um, let's see. Coriander talking about her experience with Season of the Witch. She hated it at first when she saw it as a kid. Talking about I was pretty young and didn't care for it, Jamie. It took me decades before I watched it again. But when Night and I watched it together, I liked it. Glad I gave it another try. Yeah, Season of the Witch definitely has gotten a lot more love, in recent years, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to
Yeah.
see it.
Something I would like to see with the Halloween franchise. Maybe like one year you could do like a Michael movie, and while you're writing out that, maybe kind of have that anthology going a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. That would be cool, like a back and forth type of thing.
Yeah,
That would
that
be
way you
cool.
have time to plan things out.
Yeah, that would be fresh too. Conrad saying, Knight and Bob, this question is for you guys. Is it fair to say without Jason Lives, there wouldn't be a Scream, since that movie started the meta aspect for horror? I think I'll say my piece first. I think that it's quite possible because Kevin Williamson himself said he got a lot of inspiration from Friday 6 Jason Lives. And I think that and that's something that a lot of fans well, I'm not saying a lot of fans don't know, but I'm sure there are a lot of fans that don't. I didn't know it for years. But I think it's pretty cool to think that Scream '96, which is one of the greatest horror films ever, in my estimation, you got some inspiration from good old Jason, and I think that's pretty cool because a lot of times Friday 13th doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Hmm.
But to me, it's such a fun franchise, and it has a lot more hits than misses for me as a fan. So, yeah, I think it's fair to say that. What do you think, Bob?
It's definitely fair to say that, but there's a few factors as well to that. I mean, without him seeing that news article on the Gainesville Ripper, without him being in his friend's house watching it that night, without
Mm-hmm.
Jason Lives, there's so many factors. It's not just one factor that made Scream great, and that's what makes Scream so great. There's so much inspiration there from everything that
Yeah.
without all that, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking Scream 6.
Good point.
Heck, if
Mm-hmm.
Wes Craven didn't agree, because he did turn it down quite a bit, if he never agreed, we might not even be sitting here with that too. So there's so many factors with Scream that you can
Mm-hmm.
thank.
It's true. It's true. We have not seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn yet,
No,
Denisha. Have you
I'm
seen it,
watching that.
Denisha?
Yeah, no, I'm watching that tomorrow though, because my grandmother loves that franchise. So I got to put that on for her.
Mm, that's very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Number one horror fans, and I'm here. The end trailer is really good. Classic is the word. All right. That's awesome to hear. Very, very cool.
All right, now I'm more excited for it.
Right? Jamie saying, my theory evil never dies because fear never dies, and Michael is personified fear. No, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, Jamie. One and now let's do this because I know we want to do a couple things that'll kind of tie into the trailer as well. But for Halloween, what do you think will happen at the end? And I know everyone, here's Jamie's theory. Everyone's got a theory. What do you think is going to happen at the end of Halloween Ends?
My theory is, and we're talking Blumhouse wise here, because obviously after this, the franchise goes back to Malik, and he can
Mm-hmm.
give the rights to someone else for another deal. I think we'll get kind of an H2O treatment, maybe not a head cutting off or something, but I think we're going to see Laurie and Michael have the final battle at in Act 3 that'll last for like 20 minutes, but she gets overpowered by Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Allison, but she was defending Allison. Allison sees her die right in front of her, and that just pushes her flat out over the edge after what happened with 18 and kills, being on the same
Mm-hmm.
night, losing everyone. As soon as she loses that last person that she really cares about, I think she's going to go ballistic. I think she's going to snap, and she's just going to destroy Michael to an extent that we haven't really seen.
Mm.
That's my theory with it anyway, because they've set
Okay.
Allison up to kind of be the new final girl. As much as I want Laurie Strode to be that final girl one more time and have a happy ending, I think it's time to pass the torch on to Allison in this film.
Mm.
Because if Blumhouse ever does get the rights back and can create another trilogy, at least you have something in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. It's possible, man. I mean, I've gone back and forth in my own head about how this thing is going to end because there's so many ways it could go, which is why I'm excited for the movie. But my latest theory or my latest thought on it is some way, somehow, evil wins. Now whether that means that Michael's the last one standing, or if there's a whatever you want to call it, a transference or something like that. I don't really go down that road too much. I know Steven's a big fan, and thinks that's a theory that could happen. It might, but there's a big part of me that's thinking that at the end, man, Michael's not going to get killed. Because when Jamie Lee says that people are going to be upset and it's going to make them ask questions, and they're going to be angry and this and that, the first thing that comes to my mind, well, that means that Laurie's not going to get her swan song. She's not going to be able to kill Michael off. You know what I mean? Now, I could be wrong on that. And, based upon a lot of things that we've been hearing lately, it could go in a totally different direction. But I'm still so excited because there's so many ways it could go. Like, I'm really, seriously, man, I'm more hyped for this one than I was for 2018 and Kills, because I'm just wondering how the hell are they going to be able, or can they stick the landing, I guess is what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I'm curious
that's the
about.
key thing. They have to make this
Yes.
work. It has to be
Hmm.
a good conclusion to this trilogy.
Right. Yeah. I hope it will be. I really, really do. Jason, you are right. Maverick is the man. Thank you so much for that $2 super chat. But Maverick definitely is the man. And I'm hoping and praying that he has good news and continues to recover. Because
Same here.
it's no fun when you're like, either bedridden or you're dealing with an injury like that, man. Seriously. Million saying the sibling angle fundamentally destroys the point of the original film, adding a motive. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it
It
did add the motive. Carpenter wasn't a fan of it either.
it does, but if I'm not mistaken, and I have to go back to find the clips on YouTube, wasn't there a deleted TV scene when they
Hmm.
added it to TV well before 2 came out that actually had the sibling angle in there before even 2 went that route?
Yes. Yep, it did,
So,
because she visited him in the institution
yeah,
as a
so
child.
so in a way it does ruin it, but also if he wasn't a fan, why would he put that in there for a TV edit? That's my
Yeah.
only question.
Yeah. I mean, and I think, and again, and don't get me wrong, I love John Carpenter, but he also sometimes will kind of you know,
Go back and
ping.
forth.
Yeah, yeah. I think his bigger frustration with 2 was he never planned to do a sequel, but he was contracted to do it, and he was just like, okay, let me just get through this. He famously talked about how he sat down with a 6-pack of beer and just he wrote it out, and obviously part of that was the idea of prominently showing that they're related, that they're siblings. So, it is what it is. But I will say, here's another question for you. I love watching Halloween and Halloween 2 back to back, like as a double feature. I think they play really well together.
Oh,
Even though,
definitely.
Carpenter didn't direct the second one, but his DNA is on Halloween 2 a lot. It
Yeah,
feels like, it feels like it really is that same night.
yeah. I mean,
I
you can't.
mean,
I have to watch 1 and 2 back and back because they go hand in hand.
they do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's to me like for sure. This Halloween, I'm going to be doing that. It's one of the best double features for me. That I do. So yeah, definitely back to back, man. Jacob saying 6 had the shotgun kill.
I thought
Which
that was
kill was
4.
that?
I thought that was
Yeah,
4 when he stabbed the
with
shotgun through.
with Kelly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so. Yes, it is. Yeah, he did do that in 4. Yep, with Kelly. Yep, absolutely. Jason saying, I want to get back to the Halloween atmosphere, storyline development, and characters we care about. I want to see more of Hawkins and him getting some closure with his past. Yeah, I'd like to see Hawkins. I'm curious to see what they do with him because he's got to have some big moment or important role because they brought him back.
yeah,
They brought him back. He should have been dead in 2018,
yeah,
but they bring him back for Kills, and they show his backstory, and that's such a big part of his story in the movie. So there's got to be some payoff with him in this film, I would think. It wouldn't make sense if he didn't have some prominent role or some type of payoff. It just
yeah.
wouldn't make sense.
Also, give me a flashback with the same guy that you had playing Loomis and him and Hawkins arguing after him stopping Loomis shooting. I would love to just hear that back and forth.
Yes, yes, I agree. That guy, that was amazing. I mean, It was amazing because when I first saw it in the theater, I was like, "Oh my god, is this like a deleted scene with Donald Pleasance?" Like for a quick second or two, I
Yeah,
really thought it was Donald Pleasance, and then I kind of looked and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I mean, it was so good, man, and it was all practical prosthetics. It was
yeah,
no CG. It was totally prosthetics and makeup and so forth. And my goodness, I mean, we in a certain way, we were able to get Donald Pleasance back, and that was so cool. So cool. Jamie saying, I want Halloween to end. Don't hate me, people. It's
okay, well,
all good.
let's call our government and make sure Halloween gets canceled as well.
Right? Oh man. Maverick with a $2 super chat saying Jason Dyer's the righteous man. That's funny. You guys are sending chats back and forth. You're all right, Mav. Seriously. Thank you so much, man. You're all right.
uh,
Let me play this for you. Here we go.
Treat her right, treat your mother right. Treat her right, treat her right. Treat her right, treat your mother right. Treat her right, treat her right.
M is for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that you felt when I was born.
Thanks. Thanks
oh
so
man,
much, Maverick.
now I gotta go play WWE 2K22 after this and just play as Mr. T. Now I have to.
Yeah.
I wish
Right.
they had a creation like where you could put your own custom music. I would download that and put that as T's theme just to
Oh
laugh.
my god, that would be so cool, man. Oh man.
But I
That
get
would
it,
be cool.
copyright problems and that you can't really put
Yeah.
that in there. But it's like I remember, I think it was one of the older games. They had that in for like 1 year. It's like that
Yeah.
would have been the year to have T in the game, then because I would have done that.
Yep. Absolutely, man. I would have been right there with you. What's up, Dan? Dan's in the chat. All right. Good to see you. Brian's in the chat saying, "Hi guys." What's going on, Brian? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I catch up with these guys a little bit. Um, Million saying, and this is true. They said David Gordon Green and Danny McBride would fail because they never made a horror movie before. But Halloween '78 was Carpenter's first horror movie. Yeah, it just goes to show you, man, people can have talents even if they're not, I mean, we see it with Jordan Peele, coming from, from the comedy world and doing some really interesting things in horror. So I agree,
Yeah.
man. You just never know until you know. And
And I think for them too, it also helped that kind of John Carpenter was a little on board with the soundtrack. So I think he even gave them some concept ideas to help them out
yes.
because he was down
Hmm.
that route at one point. So he understands that it can be hard when you're doing that.
Yeah,
And I'm
absolutely.
shocked he agreed to come on because it really doesn't seem like he wanted to do any more Halloween stuff in general. So that he
That's
even
right.
came on for the soundtrack, I applaud him.
Yeah, man. I mean, they tried to get him to come back for a whole bunch of the sequels, and he was just basically like, nope, 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 no, no.
Yeah,
And
that's what led to the rights
yeah,
being sold to to Mustafa for 4.
mm-hmm. So seeing him come in for 2018 was a big shock to me too, and I was like, wow, Carpenter really is on board with this, So it was cool. It was very, very cool. Cody saying, so pumped for this trailer tomorrow. I know.
I
I know,
know.
seriously. I can't I can't wait either. Oh man. Let's see. Tony's in the chat saying, "What do you guys think of the Freddy versus Jason movie? Do you think they should make more mashups or leave the characters to themselves?" Ooh. Well. Hmm. Well, with Freddy versus Jason, and we did do an episode on the whole Friday the 13th franchise. So, by the way, if you have not checked out our Friday the 13th episodes, please check them out. I got a playlist called Friday the 13th franchise. We did deep dives on each movie, including Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Jason was, it was an okay movie. It was all right movie. It had some I had some issues with it, mainly the way Jason was depicted. It was a really good Freddy movie, because Robert had a blast in that movie, but I didn't like the way they depicted Jason. So, but that being said, it's so difficult to mash up two different icons with two different mythologies, and I'll give them credit for finding a way to make it make some sense. So, but do I think they should make more? I'd be up for it as long as it's executed well. You know, I'd be curious. What about you, Bob?
I'd be curious, but on a lot of them, it'll be hard if you do slashers that don't talk. You're gonna have to have a
Yes.
well-rounded story with characters. Any like Freddy versus Jason could have been better. There was a lot of issues there, but it kind of works because at least Freddy talks. If you would have had
Yes.
them back and because if they're just staring at each other and that it really it's a cool moment to see two people stand there, but if you're doing that through the whole film,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of loses its purpose if the story isn't there and having a well supporting cast that of characters that will be killed off that can talk and that. So
Yep.
it has to be done right. You're gonna have to find a good writer that can put both mythologies together to make sense. And
Yep.
I'd be down for it as long as it's written well. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some weird ones. I mean, I watch a lot of B-rated movies from like Full Moon and that. Hell, I'm not gonna lie. One of my guilty pleasures is like Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man. It's just a weird concept of them two, but it can work and it's a funny movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, look, there's some movies that are really crazy and batshit crazy is really what I'm trying to say. But you
Yeah.
can still enjoy them. You can still enjoy them. It's true. It's true. Let's see. I want to catch up to a couple of the people here too. Tony saying a Halloween ends, screen fades to black. Dr. Loomis voiceover. You fooled them all, Michael, but you haven't fooled me. That would be awesome. Possibility of revisiting the franchise. Yeah, yeah. I look any Loomis in the movie, I'm all for it because
Mm-hmm.
Loomis is my favorite character. If there's any way for them to have anything dealing with him, like a flashback, a voiceover, and that's the other thing too. We haven't talked about that. I'll let that be one of the last things we get to, um, because we haven't mentioned it. But in 2018, you had the voiceover. They mentioned his notes and his recording. They were listening to his audio recordings, and of course, in Kills, they had the flashback. To me, I. I mean, it would make sense for them to have another wink and a nod to Loomis. I'm not betting on it, but I really hope they do. Do you think that we will see or hear or have any reference to Dr. Loomis in Halloween Ends?
I think we will. I think it's kind of inevitable, especially if they do kind of go into Hawkins. I think there'll be something there to where they kind of were
Hmm.
arguing back and forth because he did stop him from shooting Michael
Yes.
for that.
Yes. Yep.
What was it, seventh time technically?
Right. Right. It's true.
Heck, imagine if he would have
Oh,
landed that. The line would have ended up having to be changed. I shot him 7 times.
7 times, right? That's a good point. But yeah, I love Loomis, man. Any Loomis to me is good. Jacob saying you can't really give Michael a definitive ending. He's the archetype slasher. He's an idea, a metaphor. That's true. I think, and that's what makes him so cool. That's what makes him so cool and so interesting. Is that you don't have that backstory, you know? Hey,
Yeah,
there's Val. All right. Saying, hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Just got back from dance class. Well, nice to have you, Val. We're going to be, I hate this. Val's probably going to be like, no, we're going to be ending up soon. But, you know how it is, Val. You got stuff to do. That's fine. But there's always replay. There's always replay.
yes,
Um,
there is.
Maverick saying, 10 Hut, the general has arrived. uh, Maverick saying, Mr. T is my favorite clip night. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, man. It's nothing at all. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Anytime, and especially, and we hear some people say these types of things, when they're not feeling well or have to kind of be doing a lot of resting and dealing with injuries or what have you. We've had some people say, hey, we enjoy listening to you guys talk about movies or watching your shows or watching the live streams. And I gotta admit, it's really an awesome feeling to know that you can, give some people some enjoyment. So Mav, I'm glad that you're enjoying stuff. And like I said, nothing but well wishes, man. Nothing but well wishes. Um, Denisha is putting in the link for the podcast. She is marching that podcast to the ends of times. Thank you so much, Denisha. I appreciate it. We did get a new upload today Hopefully, we'll get another one or two or maybe more by tomorrow. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Very cool of you. Um, let's see. I just want to catch up. I'm almost caught up to most of you guys, but Wayne saying, I got a Night Watch Zone hoodie sent all the way to here in Sydney, Australia. Wayne, you're all right. And I'm glad you enjoy it, man. I'm glad you like it. Seriously. All right. All right. So, look, let me start to, as we start to wrap up here. First of all, Bob, do you want to let the folks know what you got going on? Because you're pretty busy, obviously, and I've got the links to your channel in the description. So, for all you guys, definitely go to Bob's channel and check him out, subscribe, support him. But you're doing so much with Marcus too. So, what's cooking for you coming up?
Yeah. Either tomorrow or Thursday, me and Marcus are planning, and my friend Harmony as well. We're planning on finishing our watch party for the entire Hatchet franchise. We're finishing off with Victor Crowley, and I definitely can't wait to see his reaction. It's cool to see that I got him into that franchise. It was just funny. I brought it up one time, and it's like, I haven't seen that. And I remember I'd made the suggestion on Craven's members only thing, and we saw it there. I'm like, oh, we got to
Hmm.
watch this. I don't care that I just saw this like 2 months ago. Like, we're doing this then. So we went, and he's been he got into it so far. It's 3 for 3. He's enjoyed all 3 films. So hopefully he
Nice.
enjoys the 4th film.
Awesome. Very,
And
very
I've just
cool.
been so busy with work, I haven't had a chance to really upload my own stuff. I got so much other
Yeah.
planning with like Marcus and everyone else, so it's hard to find that balance right now.
It is challenging, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of those things. And shout out to all the content creators, yourself included, Bob,
Yeah.
because for content creators that are still doing it, it's very difficult. And I'm not going to name any names, but I have a friend of mine in the community who is definitely going to be taking some time to kind of do life, and it kind of hit me hard because it just goes to show that when you're doing what we do, it can really be a lot. It takes a lot to do what we do. I mean, we've been here talking for an hour and a half. I've kept Bob on longer than we thought, and
Yeah.
but it's fun. But at the same time, it's a commitment. So, for all of you guys that are still doing it, hats off to you. Hats off to you, Bob. And just keep trying to have fun with it, because there are some folks that they gotta sometimes step away. So
Yeah. And I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. At first it was hard, especially doing the live streams of that. But people like Mav, yourself, Carrie, everyone with the whole supportive thing. I mean, it's funny. Mav ended up giving me a nickname of Live Stream King, which I've kind of been rolling with. It's like I am always on live streams. It's not even the channel anymore. It's just I'm just rolling on everyone's streams. And even Marcus had a chuckle at that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you are.
yeah.
You're not even really doing your own thing. You're just on everyone's channel. Now
Hey,
the only
man.
two I really have left that from the collective is Fate and Jake. They're the only 2 left.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, man. You got to, and the thing of it is that obviously, as you know, those guys, I mean, conversation is just so cool to have with them and easy going. So you definitely have a good time talking with them too, if when you
Yeah,
get a
I,
chance to
I
be on their
did get a
channel.
chance to be a little bit with Jake because he was on that wood stream where I ended up like randomly just being invited midway through. But you
Uh-huh.
could tell he was already drunk from all the super chats and that. And he's like, "Oh, you're the highest paid member on my thing. You could tell me to finish this fight, but I can't do that. I've been through that. I'm not going to be held responsible if something goes wrong."
Right? It's so true, man. It's so true. Jason's so awesome, saying Bob is awesome. Thank you for a great live stream. Very, very
Oh,
cool, man.
oh, thank you, Jason.
Very, very cool. Well, we're going to get ready to end up here, guys. But again, Bob's link is in the description. Go show my man support, because he definitely, like he said, the live stream king, going to channels, hanging out, helping out, having great discussions. And I knew that this would be a fun one, especially talking about these things. And it was really fun, man. And again, I want to thank you for just being such a cool dude, supporting the community, and obviously such a huge support of the Night Watch Zone. It truly blows my mind, man, and we don't take it for granted. Seriously.
Hey,
Most seriously, most
I'm
seriously.
glad to do it. Like I said, it means a lot to help you guys because you guys put out amazing content. You deserve all the support. And I know there are people out there that can't afford, but hitting that like, commenting after the streams are over always helps. And that's
Yeah,
another great way you can support people's channels, leaving likes and commenting. And even
absolutely.
sharing
So
it
true.
and share it to your social medias and that as
Yeah.
well.
So true, man. So true. So we're gonna get ready to head on here. For you guys in the chat, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Definitely give the video a like if you haven't already. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about some of the things I mean, we covered so much between Scream and Halloween. We even dipped our toes into Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think in the comment section. And also, again, check out Bob. He's awesome. We will catch you guys later. Bob, I'll have you wait for me after this outro. And for the rest of you guys in the live chat or watching the replay, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Halloween trailer. See ya.